Sir, and to my fellow classmate, good afternoon. I am Marquez John Larry, and so before I start my discussion, let me define you first what is interview. So interview is a two-part conversation that always has a specific purpose, and in this discussion, you might encounter the word interviewer and interviewee. So the interviewer is the one who asking the question, and the interviewee is the one who answering the question. So to continue the report regarding to the planning the interview, the number 5 is considering possible question. We all know that question is very important in every interview. So as an interviewer, you must very careful on what question you ask. It more easily to formulate question if you know your agenda or goals. So by making tons of possible question related to your goals, it can help you to choose the best and most significant question given at the time frame. So the better your question is, the more significant your interview. In making in making possible question, you may consider writing different question format like open and closed question. In open and closed question, it give interviewee to answer naturally based his or her feelings, thoughts, and knowledge. For example, interviewee asks, How do you feel today?" He or she might describing his feelings and answer naturally. So in closed question, it's limit interviewee's choice of answer, typically with one word answer like yes or no. For example, "Are you feeling better today?" And interviewee might answer yes or no only. And second is factual and opinion question. So in factual question required fact-based answer. You may ask his or her educational background, so he or she need to answer based on fact, while opinion question is based on his or her beliefs regarding to the question. So for example question is why we should hire you. So she might answer based on his own opinion. And primary question and secondary question is, in primary question is introduce the main topic, while the secondary question is like a follow-up question to his her answer in primary question to give more information and clarification. And lastly, direct and indirect question. The best way to get the direct answer, of course, to ask direct question. This question usually is started with the word like how, when, what, where, why. For example, what is your name? And while in indirect question it starts with the question word, but the word is likely the statement. For example, could you tell me what your name is? As you can notice, the indirect question is more polite than the direct question. And now let's proceed to the number 6, arranging the settings. In arranging the settings, you must consider the time and location. Time. In time, you need to know how much time you need to accomplish your purpose, and also you must avoid scheduling your interview right before meal time. The interviewee might not focus answering question properly due to hunger. And important to have a distraction-free location in doing interview so that the both of you are able to concentrate and the interviewee can answer properly and think properly. If the location has a distraction, at least tell to the interviewee so that he or she prepared his or herself. And so, after planning the interview, we are now conducting it. So in conducting interview, in every interview, it consists of 3 stages: opening, body, and closing. The first is opening. In opening, is more on self-introduction and welcoming to the interviewee. The first is greeting and building rapport. A good introduction should start with greeting and self-introduction. And it's very important to build a rapport, because in building a rapport is kinda creating it's kinda creating you creating connection to the interviewer that he or she feel comfortable. It helps him or her to answer more naturally and lessen his nervousness. In orientation, is interviewer inform the interviewee about the agenda and possible question arise during the conversation. Then the second one is body. In this stage wherein question and answer are being exchanged. So, as a interviewer, give your full attention especially when the interviewee is answering. So, if you think his or her answer is not clearly or not satisfied you, you may ask for elaboration and clarification by using secondary question, then paraphrasing. This there is a time that interviewee may not get your question because it might too hard for them to understand or analyze due to nervousness. So as an interviewer, you may paraphrase your question by using simple words for them to easily understand. So as an interviewee, it's very important to listen actively so that you can easily analyze and formulate answer to the question given by the interviewer. And it's very important to give clear and detailed answer so that the interviewer may not ask you a secondary question. And lastly, closing. As the interviewer, always keep in mind that do not end interview with the last answer to the question. Plan satisfactory way to close the interview. You may consider this: reviewing and clarifying main points of the statement. It seems you are giving summary the important things that you tackled. Make a future plan or action. And lastly, appreciation. And to show your appreciation, you may say thank you to the interviewer. So that's end my report, and I hope you guys learned something. And again, I am John Larry Marquez, your reporter. Thank you.